Hey guys, it's been a long time since I made a video, but I'm really wanting to start making videos again on YouTube. I miss doing it, and I miss talking about movies and stuff like that, especially obviously horror stuff that I'm interested in. But I was thinking about a lot of movies that I really love and that I've kind of discovered over the years that nobody either knows about or talks about or anything. But I'm just going to go through this real quick. I might talk about a few of them because I've got several movies here to go through, and there's probably going to be another one of these videos because I didn't get near what I would like to talk about. I just didn't want the video to be really long. So to start off with here, this one, and a lot of you probably heard of it, but I never hear anybody talk about it because a lot of people, obviously Child's Play, Chucky overshadows this character, but it's Dolly Dearest. By no means is this a good film, and a lot of these guys I know aren't good films. They're low budget. That's the stuff that attracts me. Low budget films, just fun. And this is definitely one of those. And if you haven't seen Dolly Dearest, it literally is basically Child's Play, but a girl doll instead of a boy doll. So it's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you checking out Dolly Dearest. Next up, this is a movie I saw this past year, and it is Killer High. But this movie is so much fun. It's basically about this guy who puts on a mascot uniform. These people are having this high school reunion, and they get together, they're having that, and it's all the stereotypes that we know in all these movies. And they get together, and this person who puts on this high school mascot uniform, well, the uniform is possessed, and it's like a giant boar. So it's this big practical effects creature, and this movie is so much fun. I highly recommend checking out Killer High. Really good movie. So this one, another one you might think is ridiculous or might have passed over, but it's Jurassic Games. Basically about a group of inmates in a prison who are subjected. It's in the future, and basically they have to fight a bunch of dinosaurs and stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Really fun movie. Actually surprised me with how much I enjoyed this one. The next one here is a really cool zombie film called Here Alone, and it basically follows the female character in this, and it's a very kind of slow-paced zombie film following her and kind of what she's dealing with being alone in a zombie outbreak. She does encounter some other characters, but if you like zombie films and want something different, highly recommend Here Alone. Really good stuff. I'm a huge shot-on-video fan, and I love the Polonia brothers, who a lot of you are probably familiar with, and I also love anthology films, and this is Channel 13, which was actually a lost film that they kind of finished up and put together in recent years, and this one was released by Sub Rosa Studios. If you like anthologies, love shot-on-video, low-budget type stuff, I mean, look at that cover. So good. This is a great one. I highly recommend you check it out. Next one is another anthology. This is High 8, and it's basically all shot on 8mm, and it is different segments, and there's several in here, and they all kind of tie together, but really cool anthology film, and I highly recommend you check this out if you haven't seen it. This one really caught me off guard too with how good it was in recent years, and that is Devil's Rock, and it's basically about this demon back in Nazi times, and these guys in this bunker. It's all that kind of stuff, military type thing, but really cool effects. The demon in it looks really cool, and just great movie. Really gory, cool stuff. So check out Devil's Rock. Love that movie. This one was one of the After Dark originals, and it was Red Clover, and I really dig this movie. It has Billy Zane in it, and it's basically about fairies and leprechauns and that type of stuff, but I like the story a lot, and I watch this one every year at St. Patrick's Day, so check this one out. Really cool stuff. Next up, I don't hear many people talk about Drag Me to Hell, and obviously Sam Raimi flick. We know a lot of his work, but this one doesn't get enough love as far as I'm concerned, and I absolutely love Drag Me to Hell. I think this movie is so well done. Love Justin Long in this movie. Love the performances. And I don't want to say a lot about it. Just if you haven't seen this, go watch it. I think you can still pick up the Scream Factory editions. This one, awesome. If you're a gore fan, you definitely need to check this out, and that is the mildew from planet Zonadar, or Zonadar. I don't know how to say it, but or Zondar, whatever. You can see there. But this movie is about these people down in this bunker, and all I'm going to say is it's an awesome practical effects gore fest. So check this out if you like that kind of stuff. It's great. So next up is a cool slasher that I never hear anybody talk about, and it's called Hellbent. And it's basically these guys in West Hollywood, and it's a great Halloween flick because it's set during Halloween. And there's this guy that's after these 4 gay friends, and he's stalking them and trying to, he's just stalking them and all this stuff. He's got a cool mask and stuff like that. But anyway, this movie really surprised me. Good stuff. Definitely check out Hellbent. Really love that one. This one is another slasher, kind of supernatural slasher that I really like. And I like movies that have to do with voodoo and stuff like that because there's not a lot of them. And this one is called Venom. And it's one of those, I forget when this came out, early 2000s, 2005, kind of floating heads type movie you can see. But it takes place in the swamp. It's got that really cool Louisiana type setting and feel. And I just dig this. I think it's a lot of fun. It's got some cool kills in it and a really cool slasher villain. So check out Venom if you haven't seen that one. Next up here, we have a movie that I also love, and that is called Pieces of Talent. And I never hear anybody talk about this, and maybe when it came out, more people did, but I absolutely love this movie. Christy Ray, the actress who's in this, does an amazing job, and so does David Long, the guy who plays the villain in this. It is one of those movies that makes you just kind of like the villain even more than the hero in this, and I just love Pieces of Talent. So if you can get your hands on this, definitely check this movie out. Awesome stuff. Next up, a couple more from Wild Eye. This is an awesome slasher that I never hear anybody talk about, and that is Scream Park. It has a cameo in it from Doug Bradley. You can see him there on the back, Pinhead himself. But I love stuff that's set in like, theme parks or, carnivals, that type of stuff. And that's the setting of this film. And it's got a cool slasher villain. And this movie's a lot of fun. So definitely check out Scream Park from Wild Eye if you haven't seen it. It's good stuff. And another one I watched recently for the first time from Wild Eye, it's called Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. And basically it's a character piece about this ice cream man. It's an Australian film, and he is obsessed with this girl, or she's actually a soap opera type movie star, and he's obsessed with her, and it just starts to spiral. And I don't want to say anything about it. It's got a great ending, but this movie is awesome. Really loved it. So check that out if you haven't seen it. It's called Annihilation. It's from the director of Ex Machina. And this movie is so cool, so creepy. It has some very creepy scenes in it. But if you haven't seen this, it's really hard to explain. Definitely check out Annihilation, especially if you liked Ex Machina. Check that one out. Next one is a movie I absolutely discovered and kind of loved, and that is called Subject 2. And it's a kind of a modern Frankenstein tale. And there's not a lot I can say about it without ruining it, but it's got a really cool snowy setting if you're into movies like that. And I highly recommend this movie. So it's really cheap. Grab a copy of it, give it a watch. Really liked it. Subject 2, good stuff. Next up is all the found footage movies that get so much love, and I really like found footage films. From the cheap ones to the big studio ones, but kind of the one that started all, besides Cannibal Holocaust, is The Last Broadcast. And if you haven't seen this, for me it took a couple watches to really appreciate it, but I absolutely love this movie. It's super creepy. It's about the Jersey Devil, and this predated Blair Witch and all that, so definitely check out The Last Broadcast if you haven't seen it. Next up here, we have a movie I've watched so many times because I love it so much, and I tell people about this movie a lot, and it's called The Invitation. And, I know that I'm sure there's a lot of you know about this film, but I just never hear anybody talk about it, and I love this movie. If you like kind of cult type films and stuff like that, it's very intense. It's a slow build up, but it's a great payoff and just a great, well acted, well shot movie. Like, check this one out. So good. Next up is another one that I, the first time I saw it was just kind of blown away by it, and that is Triangle. This movie is so trippy. It has so many twists and things like that, and you don't know where it's going, and really, really good stuff. So check out Triangle. A lot of you have probably heard of that one, but check it out if you haven't seen it. There was a big studio release of Truth or Dare. Most of you probably saw this, remember it coming out in theaters. Well, at the same time, there was a straight to kind of DVD one with the same name, Truth or Dare, that I liked way better. And I actually like the theatrical one, but this movie was awesome. So it really, to me, took the Truth or Dare type scenario and ran with it and made a better film out of it. It's just lower budget. So if you can find this one, check out Truth or Dare. It's from Ingenious Films, and it was really good. Really love that movie. So next is another awesome one that I really enjoy watching, and that's The Signal, with the lenticular cover there. But a lot of you may know of this film, but maybe you haven't given it a chance. Definitely check out The Signal. I'm going to kind of speed this up a little bit because I know I'm talking fast. I'm talking a lot about these movies. Another cool slasher that I love called The Pool. If you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Really good stuff. This is kind of, I don't really know how to explain this one, so I'm not going to, but I'll just leave it up to you to see it. It has Christy Swanson in it, who I really love, and that is Living Death. And I saw this one recently as well, had it in the collection for a long time, and really, really liked this one a lot. This one is from Brain Damage Films, and it's one of those movies that I put in not expecting anything from, and then I was like, wow, that was actually really well acted, and it had a great story, and it's called In Exchange. And it's basically following this guy who's kind of the outcast type of guy, who's picked on, ignored, and that kind of stuff. And he goes to this private party anyway. Some stuff goes down, and it just is really crazy. So definitely check out this movie. I highly recommend that one. Next is just a crazy slasher called Killdozer, and the slasher villain is a giant bulldozer. If you haven't seen Killdozer, you can get it from the Universal Vault series, like on Amazon. It is what it is. It's a giant bulldozer that's unmanned, killing these guys on this construction site. So you check it out. It's so cool. Next one is kind of in the torture porn vein of Saw and things like that, but I really like it a lot, and it's called Gag. So really, this is one of those ones you'd probably pass over, not thinking it would be worth anything, but awesome flick. Love that one. This one is another one that no one talks about, and I absolutely love this movie. Probably one of my favorite films, like in my top 25 or something, and it is called Faults. And you've probably never heard of this. If you have and you've seen it, awesome. I'd love to talk to you about it. But I can't even explain the plot of this film, but it has Leland Orser, and you can see him there. He's a character actor who has been in tons of stuff, and I love it when character actors that are really good actors get a leading role in a film, and you would never expect him to have a leading role, and he is the lead in this, and he does an amazing job. This movie, I highly recommend it. One of my favorite flicks. I need to get it on Blu-ray. There's a Blu-ray out there, but love this movie. So awesome. This one I watched just the other day, and I really dug it. I didn't expect anything from it. It was called Devour, and you would think it's got Jensen Ackles and Shannon Sossaman and Dominique Swain, and it looks like it would be one of those typical things, but it goes in a direction that I didn't expect, and I really liked this flick. So, and the title, I really don't know what the title means, because nobody gets eaten or anything in this movie. Maybe they're souls, I don't know, but you need to check it out. It's good. And lastly, this is kind of horror thriller. It's not really a horror film, I guess, but I put it in that category anyway. But I love this movie. I could watch it all the time, and it's called Thoroughbreds. And I'm a huge fan of Anya Taylor-Joy, and Anton Yelchin is in this as well. Rest in peace, and Olivia Cook. But another hard movie to explain. You just need to see it. Definitely check out Thoroughbreds if you haven't seen it. So that's just a list, guys, of some flicks some horror flicks that I really dig, that a lot of people don't know about or talk about. I'll try to do another one of these because there's so many movies that I could add into a video like this. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's good to be back on YouTube, and I'm definitely going to be putting some more videos out. So please watch for those. Thanks for staying with me if you stayed subscribed, even though I haven't made a video in about a year or so. But definitely want to continue to do this and start again. So everybody have a great week. Talk to you later.